What if you could build a business without the risk? Hey everyone, Josh here from Life According to Josh. I want to talk to you all about the fantastic ways to build a business without any of the risk. There always might be a little bit of risk, but I think that a lot of us, you, me, myself included, we tend to fall into traps where it becomes really difficult to build a business because of all of those limiting beliefs that come in. It's too expensive, it's going to take too much time. So, what if I told you there's a way to do it with absolutely no risk? There are several books that can help walk you through this in even more depth, like this one, $100 Startup. There's also Business Wealth Without the Risk. Business Wealth Without the Risk talks a little bit more about seller financing and all these different ways to get other people to invest for you and find funds that way. Whereas $100 Startup tells you great ways to build businesses with very little capital. And what I'm going to talk about today is an MVP, a minimum viable product. What is that exactly? So it's exactly what it sounds like. It's the smallest version of your product or service that will still give the desired result to your client, whatever that happens to be. So you can think like an RMT, a registered massage therapist. This is someone who can do massages anywhere. They don't need to have a huge spa location with waterfalls and all the different lotions and all that stuff. They can just grab a chair and come to your place. Some people even start without a chair, just a headrest where they do it on the end of a bed or something like that, or end of a table. And so there's lots of ways to do this without all of the risk associated. One way I did this was with a restaurant. A lot of people think that restaurants cost a fortune, like millions of dollars this, tons of capital, tons of work. It is a lot of work to build a restaurant, but it doesn't have to cost a lot of money to test it out. We did this with a supper club. We charged 10 people $50 a piece to come over and get a 3-course meal and 3 drinks between each meal. I did all the drinks and menu creation. I partnered with a chef and they came over and we did it all together, and we broke even every single time just to see if the menu we were creating was getting the desired results that we wanted. Were people enjoying themselves? Were people enjoying the drinks that went with the cocktails, the experience that we were providing, not just the type of food, but the ambiance, the way we were delivering things? And if they were, great, then we can see if this is not just a one-off. We asked people to bring more friends next time, and within like 2 or 3 months of doing 2 of these a month, I had a huge 200 to 300 person list that I could now reach out to anytime I wanted, who all wanted to join my supper club. Do that for a year, you've got yourself a huge client base and probably a lot of reasons to get loans from banks to show you that, hey, I want to build this, or investors or restaurateurs. So there's lots of ways to create a business that don't push you past your comfort zone on risk. You can start a graffiti removal service. You just go up from business to business. All you need is some turpentine, other sorts of graffiti removal products, brushes, that kind of thing. You can get a lot of those from Home Depot for all under $100, and you can just try it. Go to a few different people, go to a few different businesses, say, hey, I'll remove this graffiti A for price B, and just see if you're good at it, see if you like it, see if you absolutely hate it before you build a website, go down the path of making all these business cards and joining different networks of graffiti. Like, you don't need to do that. You can just test to see. There's tons of ways to test your service and or product without all the risk. There's going to be a little bit more risk when you go into the product over the service side of businesses, but you can still do things pretty easily in small batches in the product space. For example, I ran a cookie dough company for a while. There are ways to try your cookie dough and test it out and see if people like it, and go to small markets that only cost a couple $100s before you go into the commissary kitchen and blow things up and grow it and go to huge spaces like that. So these are all phenomenal ways we can do things like this without growing all that way. The minimal viable product when it comes to things like tech, there's this red door problem that people do in the technology and engineering space where they'll put pieces on a website that don't necessarily go anywhere. They might go to a coming soon page or something like that, which a lot of people will tell you, like, don't do it, that doesn't work. It's just a waste of space, it's a waste of this. However, you can heat map your website to see how many people are actually clicking on this product or service. If you start to see a trend of like, hey, I've got 10,000 people visiting my website a month, and 4,000 of them are clicking on this new product or service that I have, I should probably build that because so many people want it. So this is another way to build a product or service, see if it's viable in the market without all the risk. Now, this is the part where a lot of people, all their little limiting beliefs and red flags come up with, like, well, I don't have a space big enough to do a supper club, or I don't already have a website that has 10,000 visitors and blah, 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 yeah. And that's totally fine. That's why we do this work. That's why we create minimum viable products. That's why we work on our mindset and our limiting beliefs, because you don't have to do a supper club in your house. You can use a friend's house. You can go down to the community center because some of them have kitchens. There are lots of ways to have people come to something that you have without it costing you a fortune. You know, we rented a space once for one of our supper clubs as we started to grow. It only cost us $500 for the 2 hours we were there. And you might say, well, I don't have $500. Okay, well, get a restaurant job for the weekend and put together $500. There's a lot of restaurants where you can get tips that'll get you to that space in that time. You can use a friend's space if you want. If you have a friend that has a nicer space than you do, and you can ask them, you can cut them in on a bit of the profit or the revenue if you'd like. There's so many ways to go down that route if you want. To talk a little bit about the other side of things, moving past the MVP, because there's always ways to shrink down what you're doing to a much safer, more risk-tolerable sense than what most people think they have to do. Like, I need $1 billion product. It needs to be perfect. No. Most products don't start perfect. They all start with an MVP. Same thing with most services. You don't need a huge spa in order to do it. You can do it with just the tools that give you the product, and then you can start getting feedback whether you need to adjust or to switch it. Let's talk about seller financing for a second, which comes from business wealth without the risk. This is a great way to start purchasing other people's businesses. Most people will say, well, I don't have $500,000 to buy this business or $50,000 to buy this business or whatever. There are ways to do seller financing. A lot of people are selling their business because they want out of their business. So if no one's buying, if the market's not there, and you step in and say, hey, listen, your business currently makes X. Let's just say it's $100,000 a year. Profit ends up being $50,000 a year. You want $50K for it, whatever. I'll give you $2,500 a month for 2 years, 3 years, whatever, until we've satisfied the debt. That way you get a business, your name's on it, you're running it, you've given yourself a job or whatever it is you're looking for, some kind of investment, and then you can sell it later. They're out of the business, you now own the thing outright, you now know how it operates, you can do anything you want to grow it, make it bigger. Well, the other person steps down, and you did that all without any risk, right? You allowed them to finance the risk on the other side of things. And for them, it's not that big of a deal, because if you start to tank the business or something happens, they have recourse to come back out of that. And so these are all things can be placed inside of contracts. These are all things that can help support people, because most people, when they're selling their business, they kind of just want out of it. And if they can't get 100K like that or 500K like that, seller financing is a great option where you just pay them like, hey, I'll pay your retirement for the next couple months, years, whatever you need, risk-free. All right, this has been another great episode of Life According to Josh. Looking forward to seeing you next time. Have a great day.